Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. Here's a piece that appeared in the Olympian, a newspaper in Olympia, Washington, written by one Ann Cook, who was a financial consultant with the Smith Barney office in Olympia. Goes like this. Many newlyweds spend months planning the wedding ceremony that unites them as a couple. But, the story says, once the I-do's have been said, many couples spend little time or energy planning the financial aspects of their new life together. Money and finances can be uncomfortable subjects to talk about. But the discomfort of ignoring the subject can be far greater. Unfortunately, disagreements about money are a leading cause of divorce. A solid financial plan is built on a strategy that both spouses can agree on. That's why marriage should trigger an open discussion about each individual's financial history, habits, resources, obligations, and goals. This is essential to developing a realistic plan that includes joint priorities, short-term goals, and the beginnings of a longer-term estate plan. It's also critical to achieving mutual understanding when it comes to spending habits. I just want to say right here, this is all very good information. It's rare that I read a story like this and agree with like every word I'm reading. She says a first step is to prioritize together how you want to spend your money. Your circumstances and the lifestyle you choose to lead initially will dictate your priorities. An advisor can pose important questions to both of you to help clarify your priorities and assist in drafting a budget that addresses debt reduction, savings, and investment planning. Of course, she has a vested interest. She is a financial advisor. In an ideal world, everyone would enter into marriage free of debt. We'll get to that in a minute. In reality, the merger of two lives usually includes the merger of your prior obligations. Working to strategically manage or eliminate debt is an important financial step. You should pay off the bad debt, as in high-interest credit card bills, etc., and the good debt, low-interest student loans, etc., second. Many couples find their wedding gifts or cash provide a quick and easy way to reduce their bad debt load. We'll get to that in a second, too. Additionally, as a married couple, you might be contributing to a variety of retirement plans to get the greatest potential returns at a risk level you are both comfortable with. Couples should review their plans together. We'll get to that in a minute, too. Additionally, do not assume that your marriage protects your spouse in the event of your death. Many assets will not shift automatically into his or her name. It is your responsibility to maintain the correct beneficiaries on all financial instruments. You should only stay married until you're dead, regardless of what the wedding vows say. You know what I'm talking about? Remember that your financial plan is a living document. Once you have a plan in place, life events should trigger a review and possible revision of your goals and strategies. Events such as a change in income or employment status, the birth of a child, the loss of a loved one, can all affect your investment strategies and beneficiary designations. Like the institution of marriage itself, your financial plan works best if you devote the time and attention it deserves. All right, let's go back in this piece. Some of the issues I have here. First couple of paragraphs. Yes. I agree. But then we get to the part that says, in an ideal world, everyone would enter into marriage free of debt. You know what? Don't let love get in the way of being sensible. Do not marry anybody who has debts. Do not. The one exception I would say for that is a mortgage. Because the house is a valuable asset that generally appreciates in value. And in many cases, having a mortgage is a very good financial move, even when you can afford to pay it off in its entirety. I learned this from my accountant, who sat down and explained it to me. And by the way, as much as I like to spend time with money and investments and that kind of thing, I have people I depend upon to give me information to fill in the gaps of things I don't know. As much as you may think I know about this, I have people I depend upon. And here's what my accountant said to me. He pointed out that with the low interest rates we've had the last few years and the fact that I've refinanced my mortgage 5 times, he pointed out that it wouldn't make sense to pay off my mortgage even though I can. Because in my tax bracket, just to make this simple for you, I have a mortgage I pay 5 1/8. That's my rate, 5 1/8 on a 15-year fixed. And he said, you're in the 50% tax bracket. Let's say, let's call it 2 3/4 that you pay after taxes. After you get the deduction for your mortgage interest, it's 2 3/4. He said, can you do a better return than 2 3/4? My response to that is, of course. Let's start with a 1-year CD. I can get a 1-year CD for 4.3%. The cost of my mortgage is 2 3/4%. Paying off the mortgage would not be as good a deal as actually carrying the mortgage and investing the money elsewhere. By the way, my money's not in the CD. It's in the stock market where it's making a lot more than that. So that's really the one debt that I would say would be the exception to the rule. Also, it's a debt where the debt is secured by real property. This is not just money you borrowed to get a good deal on a pair of shoes at some point. This is money you borrowed to buy a living, breathing, physical asset that in most cases is worth more today than you paid for it when you bought it. But if anybody has debts other than a mortgage, you don't marry them. Student loan debts, not your problem. Credit card debts, are you kidding? Guys, think about that. That girl you've got, I've told you this before, that girl you've got with the credit card debts, what'd she spend that money on? Clothes, shoes, handbags, trips with the girls to Cabo to have sex with other men. You're going to pay that off? Are you insane? No, you're not. You're not going to pay the debt. You're not going to pay the interest. And by the way, those of you who aren't too anxious to get married, it's the perfect excuse to not get married. You tell her, honey, I want us to start with a clean slate. I want us to start right at 0. That way we won't fight about money. That way our credit will be good. We start fresh. So you pay off your bills, I'll pay off my bills. Once we do that, then we'll plan on getting married. But not before. Let her pay off her Visa card, her MasterCard. Let her pay those off. Her American Express bill. Her Macy's card, whatever. Let her pay that off. You don't pay that off. By the way, ladies, that goes for you too. Why would you pay his debts? It's stupid. Stupid. Not your problem. More advice for you if you're actually going to get married. Bad credit is a sign of bad character. Unless you're with somebody who couldn't pay a bill because they had a brain tumor, bad credit equals bad character. So that's bad judgment on your part. If you have fallen in love with a person with bad character, down the line, you're going to pay. Honestly, I would demand a FICO score of at least 650. I would not marry somebody with a low FICO score. Period. You think I'm kidding? Bad credit equals bad character. I mean, what kind of person borrows money and then doesn't pay it back? A liar, a cheat, a thief. a slacker, a loser. Sure, occasionally somebody's hit by a bus or they're in a wheelchair for a year or they get a brain tumor. All right, those are your extenuating circumstances. But if somebody just didn't pay the bills because they didn't feel like it or because they were young and stupid and just ran up $20,000 in credit card debt and then was like, whoops, bad character, loser, lose them. Yes, the writer, Ann Cook, she says, well, in an ideal world, everyone would enter into a marriage free of debt. No. You want to get married in an ideal world if you're going to get married at all. And certainly from a financial point of view. You are not going to pay off the debts of the other person. Period. And the last thing I would ever do is pay off somebody else's student loan. Unless, in exchange for paying off their student loan, I would get a percentage of their income for the rest of their lives. Because essentially I've just invested in their education. You know, if you study to be a doctor and you borrowed $100,000 and I marry you I'm a plumber, and I help you pay off your $100,000 in debt, and then later you divorce me, and you make $350,000 a year as a doctor, I want something back. Stop being so much in love and start thinking a little bit, you morons. You don't pay off somebody else's student loan because, believe me, that's the very same person who, when they're not in love with you anymore, will try to keep you from getting a penny. Or they'll try to take money from you. Don't do it. Retirement plans. I mean, come on. How many people stay married till they're dead these days? You have a prenuptial agreement that says her retirement plan is her retirement plan. Your retirement plan is your retirement plan. That's it. You have a 401k or an IRA and you don't specifically get her to sign a document that says she's giving up her rights to that, she will take her rights to that down the line. Your pension, your 401k, your IRA, your 403b, your KEO, your Roth IRA, you have to get her to sign a document that says, I waive my rights to that. Otherwise, when you get divorced, she'll take it. No. Speak to your attorney about this. I'm telling you, no. You ask your attorney about that. So do you understand my basics? Forget what the financial planner says. Don't marry anybody with debts, except for a mortgage. Don't pay off anybody's debts. Bad credit equals bad character. Somebody who doesn't pay back their bills, somebody who doesn't pay back the credit card companies, pay back their car loans, somebody who doesn't make their mortgage payments on time, that's the person later on you're going to be calling talk shows. You're going to be going on Oprah. Oprah, he's such a deadbeat. I can't figure out. The father of my children is a deadbeat. It's easy to tell who a deadbeat is. I'm giving you the ways to figure it out. Anybody who says, I borrowed $100,000, I filed bankruptcy, big deal. Low character. Low credit score, low character. Don't marry people with bad credit. Don't marry people with big debts. Don't pay off anybody's debts. Don't get married without a prenup. Sensible, rational advice, don't you think?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
Where do women spend most of their time?
In my wallet.
How about in front of the mirror?
Well, that might be the second place they spend most of their time.
The Tom Leykis Show.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. All right. The Olympia newspaper, Olympia, Washington, gave you their recommendations for people getting married, specifically financial recommendations. And then I gave you my own. It's Jack on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how are you, sir?
I'm okay, Jack.
You're a smart guy. I got some math questions for you. Let's see if we can figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm a 35-year-old successful commercial banker. I'm dating a 30-year-old successful attorney.
Yes.
My debt is very low. I don't have very much revolving debt at all. Unfortunately, she has about $63,000 in debt.
Right.
40 of that is roughly is the student loans. 23,000 is revolving debt, and her FICO score is about a 718.
Yeah.
We live together. She's pushing for marriage. What's your gut telling you?
My gut tells me that when she clears the decks, pays everything down, and agrees to a prenup, it's time to get married if you want to. But not a minute before.
Yeah, because right now we keep our money separate, and she's hot as hell, smart, and but she's just got a ton of debt, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to hang out for that deal.
By the way, it's entirely possible to have a lot of debt and have a high FICO score, because all you have to do is pay the minimum payments on everything.
Right.
Reliably, independently. Right. And that kicks up your score.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about a 713, 714 middle score, so, but I have a home, but my revolving debt's like $3,000, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a great candidate, but unfortunately, I think her spending habits are just, I love Macy's, I love Nordstrom's, I love all that stuff.
Well, I hope she loves having a prenup and paying her own bills.
Yeah, because she's pulling down about $1.75 a year.
Well, then she should be able to pay off $63,000 in debt.
You would think, Tom, but
no, she can do it. She doesn't want to do it.
The shoe selection is enormous.
Mm-hmm.
And the sunglasses and that Fendi handbag.
Well, just remember, when she wants to get married to you, it has nothing to do with love. That's a business proposition.
Right.
You're already living with her. She's already in love with you. Getting married doesn't change anything, except that she can tap into your cashola to feed her addiction.
Exactly. And but if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying prenup.
Prenup plus zero debt.
Good Lord. For her to pay that debt off,
well,
her rate would be another 5 years.
Well, then she's going to have to step it up if she wants to get married. By the same token, that gives you 5 years of freedom.
That is true. That is true. Because I'm at the point right now where I can go either way. You know, because I'm a successful guy. My stock is going up. It's not going down.
Right. And by the way, her stock's up now. But what happens later when she wants to have kids? How much legal work will she be doing then?
Exactly.
Well, you will be paying.
Yes. I'm getting the gist of that right now, yes.
Keep in mind also, she's an attorney, works for a law firm.
Yes.
Believe me, she'll screw you.
Oh, believe me, we had a couple of domestic squabbles, and when it came to, me living there, her living with me, blah, 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 she went straight, but she knew exactly what to do as far as if I were to live there or be kicked out, and she went straight for the jugular. She knew exactly what to do. And
that's what she would do.
Yeah, and that was a big reality check. She was like on the horn, and your rights are this, your rights are that, and I didn't know. I'm not an attorney, so she's telling me, yeah, I can take you to school, and you'll be hurting when I'm done with you.
So she's already let you know that. Why would you want to marry somebody like that in the first place?
I'm not sure if I want to marry.
That's my point.
That's why I figure we'll do some good math on the air and see if we can't figure it out.
By the way, are you living at her place or she at yours?
No. When we moved in together, I made her get rid of her place. I got rid of my place. We moved jointly. So
but you don't own a place together, do you?
No, I own a couple of rental properties, but we rent in the beach cities, yeah.
All right, so you're renting from somebody else. Good.
Yeah.
Good, because you don't want her living in your house, and then when things don't work out, you have to figure out a way to kick her out.
Yeah, I don't want to go through all that stuff.
No.
I'm not a lawyer, and I don't play one on TV, so I just would not do that.
Now, you've got all the excuses in the world not to get married.
Okay.
And you just have to say, it's just my rule of thumb. I'm not going to marry somebody with debts. And I do want to start, when I get married, I want to start clean. I want to be able to save for a down payment on a house. If we're going to have children, I want to have money put away. I do not believe in renting money by paying interest on debts. I just don't. And so, therefore, I won't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the commercial banking business. I know. I know the cost of funds. So
Well, that's what you know. What pays your bills is people renting money.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what pays your salary.
Yeah.
So why would you want to pay rent to somebody else?
True. Very true. Very true. I figured the reason I decided to rent a place with her because it's less risk involved.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
In fact, what I would have done is had one or the other name on the lease, not even both names. If you could have gotten her to sign the lease, you just agreed to pay half the rent while you're living in her apartment, that would be even better.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, she's. I think she's that dumb. She figures if I'm gonna be on the hook, you might as well be on it with me.
Well, you know what I always say about living together? There's nothing in it for you.
No, it's really easy to get in, but it's a pain in the butt to get out.
Right. And really, do you have benefits now that you did not have when you were dating?
Benefits? No, but I have honey-do list all day long. Honey-do this, honey-do that.
So you pretty much are proving every point I've made to you.
Yeah. To all the other listeners out there, here's an example of what not to do.
Right. Don't move in. Don't marry anybody who has big debts. And do not agree to pay their bills, period.
Oh, yeah. I made sure. I'm not picking up anybody's tab.
That way you don't have to have an agreement on how money is spent, because you have your money and they have their money.
Yeah, because combined, our income is close to about $450,000 a year.
Right. I mean, if she wants to spend her money on finance charges or purses or shoes, that's fine, because it's all coming out of her account.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Tom, I appreciate it. You are the man. You're the myth. You're the legend. Can you take me out THX style?
THX style. Here you go, Jack.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
We want what you have. Boom. But you want what we have. Money, power. So our job is to withhold that from you.
Are you trying to turn the men into gold diggers then? Is that what you mean?
No, not quite. We're poon diggers.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. JJ on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Not much, JJ. Go ahead.
My battery's running low.
That's okay.
All right, well, I want to just give a word of advice to all these guys, because I don't know, Phil Jim, but I was married for a couple of years. She didn't bring a penny into the relationship. She was going to school full-time pretty much, and I supported her. And ended up divorcing her because just some stuff that was getting kind of ridiculous. She was kind of using me, and it got out of hand. Now she's trying to get me for everything.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like they come in, they see an opportunity, and they're going to try and take whatever they can. So
that is right.
You know, get in there, get a prenup, and don't let them get nothing.
So based on what I just told you, would you say that all rings true since you've had this experience?
Oh, absolutely. You know, because we come from like a Middle Eastern culture, so divorce isn't really a high thing. You get married, kind of think it's going to last forever, so you never really think about a prenup. And now I won't get married without another one, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if you get married in Saudi Arabia, that's fine, but you got married in California.
Oh, man, this is the female state.
Washington's the female state.
As far as benefiting the female.
Yeah, I mean, California is also beneficial to females, but Washington is even worse.
Really? No, I can't imagine it. You know, you don't bring a penny in, and now you're trying to get me for whatever you can. It's kind of like robbery, you know? I would understand if they brought 50% in and they contributed half and paid the bills and paid the mortgage, that'd be fine. I don't have a problem. But when you come in with nothing, you give nothing, and then you try to take it all, it's robbery. And the sad part is she's going to get something. I'm going to have to pay.
That's right.
There's no getting around it.
That's right.
Just trying to make it as minimal as possible. So all you Leykis students out there, man, just take my advice. Luckily, I was only married for like 23 months, so it won't be that bad as far as how long I got to pay her. But it could have been a lot worse.
No doubt about it, JJ. Thanks for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. This is James on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
I'm okay.
Well, I'm a 24-year-old, just out of college, bought a house, and have had a long-term girlfriend through college, but, of course, on and off, just kind of messing around. Well, she wants to get married, and I just bought a house, and I don't know if I'm financially ready to give her a ring, you know. And she's saying...
You're too young to be giving anybody a ring or having a serious relationship.
Huh?
You are too young to have a serious relationship.
I know, and that's why I did all my, playing in college. I've been playing since I've been back in college. I've been out for about a year now. Got a good job, making around 60. And just...
And she'd like to get her claws into that.
Huh?
And she would like to get her claws into that.
Yeah, but she's been with me for a while. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah, but why?
I mean, we've been together since high school, pretty much.
That doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that's getting to me is I can see it because, I mean, she's talking about getting a big ring. And I'm like, I just bought a house. I mean, she said, you can put it on your credit card and we can pay it off.
No.
I'm like, no.
No.
I don't want to pay ring payments.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
So just say no.
Yeah, it's a little harder than that, I guess.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Did you hear the last guy who called in?
I did. And
don't you get anything out of that?
yeah, but 10 years on and off, you know. And
I don't care. The first year you were 14, please.
That's right, yeah.
You didn't know what you were doing.
That's true.
The fact that you've been doing something stupid for 10 years doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're so in love, you went to college and screwed other girls.
That's because I was taking your advice and I wanted to...
But if you're taking my advice, you don't have a goddamn girlfriend.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah. Good point.
So you stop doing that.
I just got to learn how to tell her, you know. But she's talking about, because she's moving back here to move in with me. And just kind of...
Why are you letting her move in with you?
Well, if she doesn't want it, she won't move in until she gets a ring. And
good. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know what my response to that is?
Yeah, I know.
Great.
I know.
But then you're lucky. You fell into slop. Are you kidding me? This is the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you understand that?
I know.
This is the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah. So what would you say I do? I mean, should I just tell her to get her own apartment and then...
Yes.
And then just date for a while and then...
Date her and others.
Okay.
And others.
What do you think about the ring thing?
No engagements. No marriage.
Yeah.
By the way, don't ever buy a ring until the prenup is signed.
Exactly. And
signed.
But how do you go about paying for that? Because, I mean, she's wanting a big ring. And
you tell her that part of the prenup is we're paying for everything in cash. What we can't afford, we're not buying. That's it. Be a man, make the rules, and you tell her, if you don't live by my rules, we'll never get married. Ever.
Yeah.
Like a man.
That's good.
Be a man.
Just say, just strictly cash, you know, whatever.
We are buying only what we can afford.
Exactly.
If we want rings, we will put money away and save for them.
Yeah.
We are not paying interest to buy things in this house. Period.
And then also do the retirement thing separately.
Correct.
Okay.
And you will never, ever get married without a prenuptial agreement that separates your money and her money.
Perfect.
Then if she wants to buy rings with her money, hallelujah. My guess, she doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together.
Yeah, you're pretty much right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you are, you're buying a house, you're being responsible, you clearly have good credit. And she, who has nothing to contribute, wants to grab on.
Yeah. I got you.
No.
And then about the house thing, real quick, I mean, how would you do your mortgage thing again, saving your money?
What do you mean?
You said you put it into a savings account or something at the beginning of the show?
No. In other words, if you can afford to pay off your mortgage, which I bet you can't.
No.
See, I can.
Okay.
But I went to my accountant, he said, don't do it.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Okay.
All right. You're not there yet, James.
Yeah. And,
one day you will, and then you'll remember my advice, which came from my accountant.
That's it.
All right?
All right, I appreciate the call.
Good luck, pal. The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello here to Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom.
Chris.
Long time, first time.
Thank you so much, Chris.
you described my situation so well. They got a little extra twist on it. In addition to having credit cards that are run up about $30,000 on her part, she also hasn't paid income taxes over the past 7 or 8 years.
Again, the bad character. That's what that indicates. Bad character.
Now, she is trying to get that taken care of.
But it should have been taken care of in 2002, 2001, 2000, 1999, 1998. It's bad character. That's like if somebody stole a plasma screen from Best Buy. And then they said, well, I'm trying to pay that back.
Well,
it's bad character.
The excuse she gave me was that she started doing her own business on the side there, and she didn't know she had to pay tax.
Baloney. So she's either stupid or dishonest. Which is it?
I really don't even know. Neither one of those fit her, and that's the problem there. But I've been very clear. I don't want the IRS to even know I exist right now.
Right.
I want all of that stuff taken care of, and all that stuff done. I mean, when I saw the credit cards, they were still sitting at 20% interest or more. And
you're not paying a penny of that.
Absolutely not.
Now, are you living with her?
She's living with me. See, I have my own house. I've got a 401k, a 403b. I've got a 6-figure income. I have my doctorate. I've got everything.
Right, so while you were busy being industrious, studying, saving, investing, planning for the future, she was busy on a spending spree, knowing that somebody would come along and rescue her.
You should see how many shoes she's got in her closet with price tags on them of $400 to $600.
And they still have the price tags on them.
Oh, yes, they do.
So, in other words, they have never been worn. They've just been purchased.
Oh, I don't even know because I haven't...
Well, or she's wearing them with price tags on.
Well, at least the boxes still have the stickers on the outside. Let's put it that way.
Right. So have you told her that you're not going to get married until this stuff is resolved?
Yeah, she knows that.
What'd she say when you told her that?
Well, of course, she wanted to get married by now. And I said, no. I said, okay, let's set a date. Right now the date is October of next year.
No, there's no date. Do you have a prenup?
No, we don't.
There is no date.
Right.
Cancel it immediately and get an attorney.
Well, I'm going to make sure, just like you said, prenup. I mean, I've got to protect myself, and I've got a son from a previous marriage, and if nothing else, I've got to protect him.
Well,
so
there's another reason. Look, here's the deal. If you have a date to get married, she can claim duress when you get her to sign a prenup.
Okay, that's something I didn't take into consideration.
Right. So you're going to cancel any arrangements. You're going to make a formal announcement to anybody who's been told you're getting married, and you're going to let them know that the date has been postponed indefinitely. And then you're going to get an attorney. And she is going to have an attorney, too.
Yep.
Which she should pay for. And if she won't, I think you have your answer.
I agree with you there. I mean, right now, I have the assets and she has the debt, the liability.
Right.
And I took a lot of steps through my life to make sure I was in this position. I mean, I've got a great FICO score, no blemishes whatsoever on it. It's right at 800, which is hard to come by now.
She's counting on that.
Oh, another thing is she wants to buy a house now. Us together. Basically, you sell my house and roll it into another. And I'm adamant, no, that's not going to happen right now.
No, it's never going to happen. In fact, when you get married, you are going to own the house, and she's going to sign a quitclaim deed, and it's going to be in the prenup.
Well, yeah, because that's another thing, because it's all of my equity being rolled into the new house.
That's my point, pal. Don't ever forget that. Please don't forget the advice I'm giving you. It's very important.
The Tom Leykis Show.